In this video, I'm going to go over the best Fortnite location for each letter of the alphabet, of course, beginning with the letter A and working our way all the way through to the letter Z. This video will be ignoring filler words that start at the names of POIs. So, for example, the agency is going to be counted for the letter A category, as in agency, and not the letter T category. Trust me, this makes things way more interesting, and it's the best way to go about this video, I promise you. Huge shout out to this fella on screen from my comment section for the original idea, and use code TYFRYZ in the Fortnite item shop if you do go on to enjoy this video. But with that being said, let's begin with the letter A. What is the best Fortnite location for each letter of the alphabet? The letter A is pretty bleak in terms of Fortnite POIs, right? You've got Anarchy Acres, you've got the agency, the authority, and Anvil Square. And in my opinion, it's pretty obvious it's going to be the agency. This is one of the best Fortnite locations flat out, right? Some letters on this list were really tough to determine what I thought would be the best POI, but this one was a no-brainer. There are very few POIs in this game's history that can even stand up to being somewhat as good as the agency. In my opinion, it was the best location in Chapter 2, Season 2. An absolute classic. There's a reason they've remade it like 3 or 4 times, and it's an easy pick for my letter A spot. On to the letter B category, and although there were more options for this one to pick from, there were really only 2 that I was going to go with here. It was either the block or bird. And unfortunately for you bird enjoyers, I'm going to go with the block. Oh yeah, bird is a funny troll, and I know some people actually genuinely like that location. It is not better than the block, right? I mean, getting a new, huge, fully fleshed out location every single week was unbelievable. The block is one of the coolest additions in Fortnite history, and the POIs looked genuinely unbelievable day in and day out. This, to me, was another easy spot. For the letter C, it actually has some of the most POIs for any letter on this list. I mean, you've got some classics here too, right? You've got Catty Corner, the Citadel, Colossal Coliseum, I think is a great POI, but I'm gonna go with Castle Doom from Chapter 5, Season 4. In terms of like pure square footage, this may be the biggest Fortnite location of all time, maybe besides something like Coral Castle, I guess, just because it's so crazy spread out. It's an unbelievable, like just grand looking location. You drop there, it's got that cool music that kind of plays in the background. Not to mention you do get Doombot and his mythics there. And the pure amount of chests just for the size of this location is unbelievable. It's a great location. It was my favorite one from Chapter 5, Season 4. And yeah, that's going to be my pick for the letter C. Letter D has a couple of really good choices. You've got Dusty Depot, of course you've got Dusty Divot, even the Dog Pound, which is just a remade version of the agency, but it's going to be none of those. I'm going to go with the Daily Bugle. I would go out on a limb and say this is one of Fortnite's most iconic locations of all time. Of course, it's not a Fortnite original location, it's from the Spider-Man collaboration, but it's just such a huge part of like Marvel history, right? And then to bring that into Fortnite and recreate it perfectly inside of the, you know, the little like volcano pit. You've got Spider-Man web shooters everywhere. You've got literal spider webs everywhere. I love this location, and I would understand if you wanted to put the Dog Pound here, but I'm going with the Daily Bugle. For the letter E, it's actually no competition at all because there's only one named location in Fortnite history that begins with the letter E, and that's Eclipsed Estate from Chapter 4, Season 4, and it doesn't even matter that this is the only one because this probably would have been my pick anyways. Eclipsed Estate is an unbelievable Fortnite location. I think it's one of the best of all time. It's absolutely loaded on loot, mythics. I mean, this location has it all, and yeah, I mean, it had no competition, so yeah, that's my pick for the letter E. For the letter F spot, that's going to be Freaky No. It's not Freaky Fields. It's Faulty Splits. All right, you guys knew I had to throw in a little Freaky Fields troll there, but genuinely, the letter F had a couple of good options. I mean, the first one that came to my mind was Fatal Fields. You've got the Fortilla from Chapter 2, Season 3. Fencing Fields is a great location from Chapter 5. Even the brand new First Order base from our current Star Wars season. But Faulty Splits is a goated Fortnite location. I'm telling you guys, it was only in the game for Chapter 4, Season 1, and I feel so bad for you if you never got to land at Faulty Splits. I dropped here every single time in Chapter 4, Season 1. Please, I beg, at some point, can we please see Faulty Splits come back? It is an unbelievable Fortnite location. All right, and for the letter G, this was arguably one of my hardest picks of this entire video. I even had to go on Twitter and ask you guys your thoughts on this, right? So go follow me on Twitter over there at TYFRYZ. But I narrowed it down to 3 options. It was either going to be the Grotto, Greasy Grove, or Gotham City. And my pick is the Grotto. I think the thing that really separated the Grotto from me for these other POIs was that the Grotto has Brutus's minigun, which was arguably the best mythic in Chapter 2, Season 2, and that was a lot of the reason why somebody would land at the Grotto, not even because the location was cool, but just because the mythic there was so good, and that just drew so much traffic there. My only complaint is that it's just got a horrible location. It's all the way on the end of the map, even behind Retail Row, but if you're able to just get in there, get Brutus's minigun, and get out with the choppa, yeah, this is a great Fortnite location. Onto the letter H, and for me, this was between two locations. It was either Happy Hamlet or Hazy Hillside, and if you guys actually watched my ranking every POI video, these locations were right next to each other, back to back. I'm actually going to give a different pick in this video than I did in that one. I'm going with Hazy Hillside. It's about time we get some more Chapter 5 respect on this list, because Hazy Hillside was an incredible location, only in the game for one season if I remember correctly. I loved landing here so much. This is one of those POIs that I feel like is just criminally underrated. And yeah, well, I think there is an argument to put Happy Hamlet higher than this. I'm going with Hazy Hillside. Onto the letter I, and again, there's only one location in Fortnite history that starts with the letter I, and it is the Ice Isle from Chapter 2 Remix. This is the Shark just remixed for Ice Spice. And it is a good location, right? We all loved the Shark, even though it has a horrible location in the middle of the water. I think they did a really good job. The only thing that I think gets annoying for me is just the music, and it's just playing over and over and over again here. But the mythics you get are unreal, and obviously it's got no competition, so it's got to be my placement here for the letter I. For the letter J, there's only two options. It's either Junk Junction or the Joneses, and obviously I'm going with the Joneses from Chapter 3. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it doesn't really take a lot to beat out Junk Junction, and I feel like the Joneses is a pretty forgettable POI from Chapter 3. If I remember correctly, I think it ended up getting converted to Fort Jonesy. At the end of the day, I think this is one of the weaker POIs that will be named on this list. And it's essentially the same thing for the letter K. You've only got three options. It's Kenjutsu Crossing, Naughty Nets, or Kappa Kappa Factory. Now, I'm going with Kenjutsu Crossing, but realistically, I think you could just put any three of these locations. Naughty Nets was pretty bad, but Kappa Kappa Factory is acceptable, I guess, from Chapter 6. I mean, does anybody even land here? I took Kenjutsu Crossing just because of how much loot was in that dojo and for the guaranteed kinetic blades. But again, this is another pretty weak location on this list. But the same cannot be said for the letter L. This was one of the hardest picks on this list. You've got Loot Lake, absolute classic, Lazy Links, Lazy Lake, all from Chapter 1. You've got Lavish Lair from Chapter 5 and Lone Wolf Lair from Chapter 6. Obviously, there are plenty more than those, but those are the few that I feel like, you know, are the real contenders. But I'm going to go with Lazy Lake from Chapter 2. I believe Lazy Lake is one of the best Fortnite locations of all time. It's got a great location, very, very close to the center of the map, which means people are rotating through this location all the time. It's basically just a mini Tilted Towers. It's not too big like Mega City where you can get lost in, but it's not too small where you're not going to have enough loot for the whole squad. You can drop here, honestly, in solo, duos, trios, or squads. You've got the little fishing hole to the side. I don't know. I have so much nostalgia for this location. I would always land Misty Meadows and then rotate through Lazy Lake. And yeah, that's going to be my pick for the letter L. Onto the letter M, and you've got a couple of really good highlights here. Think like Misty Meadows, Mount Olympus, and even Masked Meadows from Chapter 6 I think is a great location. But could it have been anything else than Mega City from Chapter 4 Season 2, right? I know I just leaked it about 30 seconds ago, but Mega City is an unbelievable Fortnite location. It is Tilted Towers just absolutely on crack. It is a massive location. I love the vibes here, that kind of cyberpunk Neo Tokyo. You know, it's raining, it's dark inside the location. I love this Fortnite location. It scored really, really well on my ranking every Fortnite location, and to me, this was a no-brainer pick. Now, I wasn't expecting this, but the letter N posed some of the hardest choices I've had to make on this video. You really only have three choices. It's Neo Tilted, the Nitrodrome, or Night Shift Forest. All right, you can just get Night Shift Forest out of here. It's really between Neo Tilted and the Nitrodrome. Now, I went with Neo Tilted for this video, but the Nitrodrome is one of the coolest, most action-packed, just well-themed locations we've ever seen. And if you wanted to put the Nitrodrome here instead of Neo Tilted, I would 100% understand. I'm going to go with Neo Tilted personally, just solely based on the amount of loot that was there, the rotation that you could make with the wind tunnels, and then on top of that, the actual location itself. But obviously, the Nitrodrome contained a mythic car and a boss. So if you want to put the Nitrodrome here, I would totally understand. For the letter O, you've only got two choices. It's Outlaw Oasis or Outpost Enclave, and for me, this was easy. I'm going with Outpost Enclave from Chapter 6, Season 3, or I guess the mini season. It's not technically Chapter 6, Season 3. This is my favorite location in this new season They absolutely knocked it out of the park here with Outpost Enclave, and for me, it was a no-brainer to be here. For the letter P, right, you've got one of the most classic locations of all time. You've got Pleasant Park, you've got Pandora from Season X, a bunch more, of course, but I'm gonna go with Paradise Palms. I know there's so many of you guys watching this video who will put Pleasant Park at this placement, and I totally get that. It is one of, if not Fortnite's most iconic location, most well-loved location, but genuinely, if you put Pleasant Park and Paradise Palms right next to each other and told me to drop at one of them, I'm dropping at Paradise Palms. It is truthfully an unbelievable Fortnite location. It's basically a desert version of Tilted Towers, right? This location scored really, really well on my ranking every POI video, and I think a lot of people love Paradise Palms just as much as they love Pleasant Park. I know that might sound like a hot take, but I'm going with Paradise Palms. All right, for the first letter up to this point that has no named locations in Fortnite history, obviously it's the letter Q. The closest thing we have is the Quinjet patrol sites from Chapter 2, Season 4. But of course, those are not named locations. And yeah, so for letter Q, I've got no placement. But the letter R is a different story. You've got great locations. I mean, I just think like Rave Cave, the Raft even from Chapter 5, Season 4. You could even chuck the Rig from Chapter 2, Season 2 in here. I'm going with Retail Row. This was a no-brainer for me. If there is any location in Fortnite history that I have dropped the most at, it is Retail Row. I'm telling you, I can loot Retail Row with my eyes closed. This is personally my favorite Fortnite location of all time. Even though I don't think it's the best, it is certainly the best Fortnite location for the letter R. And honestly, I don't really think there's going to be a lot of argument on this spot. The letter S, though, that is going to be a different story, because for the letter S, it actually took up an entire page of my Google Doc notes here that I'm reading off of locations. There are so many to choose from, right? I mean, just think Salty Springs, Starry Suburbs from Season X, Sweaty Sands, The Shark, the Spaghetti Grotto, Seaport City from Chapter 6. I mean, these are all unbelievable Fortnite locations. And no, I'm not putting Salty Springs. I'm going with Stark Industries from Chapter 2, Season 4. Unfortunately, there is no standing up to Stark Industries. I believe this is the best Fortnite location of all time. No question about it. The Vault, the Iron Man mythics, the Iron Man chests that are basically like guaranteed spazzes, it felt like. The actual location where it is on the map, right next to Doom's Domain, basically kind of towards that middle point of the map. The theming, everything about this location is perfect in my opinion. Genuinely perfect. This is the best Fortnite location of all time. For the letter T, there was no confusion as to what it was going to be. There was no hard choice here. It's obviously Tilted Towers. You know what? I'm waiting for the Tomato Town fanboys with their 3 chests to come rip me in the comment section down below, right? It's obviously Tilted Towers. There's an argument to be made that this is the most notorious and well-known Fortnite location in history. So many people love this location. So many awesome Fortnite moments and memories have come from this location. And if you wanted to say that this is the best location in Fortnite history, I think you can make a very valid argument for that. And it is easily my spot for the letter T. On to the letter U, and there's only one choice here. It's the Underworld from Chapter 5, Season 2, and that's a good choice. The Underworld was a great location. You want to talk about a location that has unbelievable theming. I mean, this is there. You've got Hades, you get his mythics. Now, this wasn't my drop spot of choice in Chapter 5, Season 2, but it's a great location. Obviously, it's the only one for the letter U, so here it is. And the letter V was saved by the bell, right? The last second introduced in the mini season. It's Vader's Solitude. This is the only named location that begins with the letter V, and it's all right. Like, I'm not crazy about it. It's not like a crazy standout location. I understand why people like to drop here, but I'm not crazy about it. All right, we are nearing the end here, and at the letter W, you've got 4 locations. It's Wailing Woods, Weeping Woods, Whiffy Wharf, or Warrior's Watch, and I'm gonna go with Warrior's Watch from Chapter 6, Season 1. I don't really think any of the other locations, besides maybe Weeping Woods, stands a chance here. While I don't think Warrior's Watch is anything special, I do think it's one of the weaker locations on this list. I think it beats out the rest of the competition for the letter W. For the letter X, I think it's pretty obvious. There are no Fortnite named locations that begin with this letter. And then for Y, there's only one. It's the Yacht. Now, if you were to ask me, I would probably tell you the Yacht is the weakest location in Chapter 2, Season 2, at least for the brand new added locations. Doesn't mean it's bad, right? You still get a mythic, but it is so far out in the corner. I mean, this is like as far out as you can get in the water. You're going to be running to zone every single time, although I guess you could just rotate to Steamy Stacks and just hop in the stacks and rotate, right? I'm not crazy about the Yacht, but it's the only one on this list that starts with the letter Y, so here it is. And I hate to end the video this way, but for the letter Z, there is none. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. This was one of the most fun videos I've ever had the opportunity to make. Thank you so much for the idea. If there are any named locations, like big ones that I missed that you think should have been on this list, let me know in the comment section down below. And let me know if you'd like to see me do this same style of video for, I don't know, every weapon, or maybe the worst Fortnite locations for each letter. If you did go on to enjoy this video, please be sure to leave it a like to support the channel, and I will catch you guys in the next one. As always, peace.